Godzilla x Kong Guardians of Equestria written by Fandom Place 1234, Chapter 23, Pursuing Hyper Mecha Ghidorah. The Gatengo hovers above Zilla as he roars at them. "Boss, what's the plan?" asked Mullet. "We don't have time for this, screw it, just blast this sucker so we can move past him," said Tobias. The crew began charging up the Gatengo's blasters when Kong suddenly emerges from the fog and punches Zilla, sending him tumbling down. "Whoa, what in the name of Celestia?" yelped Sunset. "Kong, where'd he come from?" asked Bernie. As if on cue, a familiar roar fills the area. They look behind the Gatengo to see Godzilla emerging from the fog with Anguirus, Rodden, Biollante, King Caesar, Shimo, and Suko. "Aye, the whole gang's back." Rainbow cheered. "Well, everyone except." Starlight trailed off. Mothra, Fluttershy whimpered as the others lowered their heads. Seeing the sad look on their faces, Tobias walks over to comfort her. "We'll avenge her," Tobias said, placing his hand on her shoulder. Fluttershy looks up and nods. At that moment Zilla slowly rises up and roars. "Oh," said Applejack. They watch as Zilla runs towards them. Godzilla attempts to blast him with his atomic breath, but Zilla lunges at them, dodging his attack. Shimo quickly freezes Zilla as Kong punches straight through Zilla with his beast glove, cutting him clean in half before Godzilla blasts both halves with his atomic breath. Despite being frozen, Zilla squeals in pain as he explodes before disintegrating like the others before him. "Yeesh, talk about overkill," said Trixie. "He didn't even do anything," Fluttershy whimpered. "Yeah, I kinda expected that," said Eileen. "What do you mean?" asked Twilight. "Let's just say Godzilla and Zilla has a bit of a rough history with each other," explained Eileen. "Yeah, that seemed kinda obvious," said Spike. "Whatever, the path is clear, besides we have bigger things to worry about," said Tobias. "Yeah, let's go break that robot," exclaimed Rainbow Dash. The team quickly strapped in as the Gatengo descended and dove straight into the vortex as Godzilla and the other titans followed after. Great Ape's Lair, Hollow Earth. The vortex within the Great Ape's Lair began to shine as the Gatengo shot out and began navigating the lair. "Whoa, is this?" asked Skystar. "Welcome to Hollow Earth, home to some of the weirdest creatures you'll ever see," Trapper chuckled. "There's more to it than just weird creatures though," added Eileen. The group looked over at home. "This is also the home of the IWI tribe, the home of Gia's people, also where she resurrected." Bernie trailed off. Trapper, Eileen, and Bernie all looked at each other. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" "Way ahead of you, Bernie bud," said Trapper. "Wait, what's going on?" asked Spike. "But we can't guarantee it'll work a second time," said Eileen. "Well, she did it once, I'm pretty sure she can do it again," said Bernie. Eileen looked at Gia, the look of desperation in her eyes enough to convince Eileen. "Tobias, I know we're in a hurry, but do you think we can stop somewhere first?" asked Eileen. "What? Where and for what reason?" asked Tobias. "The IWI tribe," said Eileen. "Look, I understand that your daughter would want to meet what she would consider her family, but we can get to the history lesson after we deal with Hyper Mecha Ghidorah and the Zillions," said Tobias. "No, that's not it," said Eileen. He looks over at her. "There's a chance we might be able to bring Mothra back." "Wait, seriously?" asked Rainbow Dash. Tobias looked at the ponies and especially at Fluttershy, who gave him a pleading expression. "Let's make this quick," Tobias ordered as the crew set course for the IWI tribe. With the help of Eileen's guidance, the crew of the Gatengo was able to find the IWI tribe relatively easily. Upon arriving, Eileen took it upon herself to explain their situation. Thankfully, the IWI were more than happy to help them once more. As the prepared Gia for the ritual, Tobias and the equestrian ponies gathered at the bottom of a massive staircase with the IWI tribe and the Monarch Task Force members. "And you're certain that this will definitely work?" asked Tobias. "She pulled this off before, if she can do it once, then she can certainly do it again," said Eileen. "Mothra," Fluttershy whimpered as Twilight pulled her in for a hug. They watched as Gia reached the top of the staircase and raised her hand up as light particles began to collect and gather to form the shape of a giant chrysalis. As the light enveloped the area around Gia, a loud screech rings out as two large wings expand and Mothra emerges. "Oh my Celestia," Starlight gasped. "Mothra!" Fluttershy's hooves fly up to her mouth as tears began to well up in her eyes. "Yes, let's go." Bernie pumped his fist. "There's no way," Tobias gasped. Mothra screeches as she takes off. "It actually worked," said Spike. "I'm so happy," Fluttershy sniffled as she sobbed. As they celebrated the return of Mothra, Eileen's phone begins to buzz. "Hello," as she brought the phone up to her ears, a frustrated voice comes from the other end. "Dr. Andrews, Director Hampton, Finally you pick up. Where have you been? We've been trying to reach you for nearly a week now. Hampton hissed. I apologize, director, it's a long story, but never mind that. Is everything alright? Eileen asked. No, everything's not okay. Hampton hissed. While you were out doing who knows what, Earth has been under attack. Eileen looks up at Tobias. Those goddamn Zillions, he growled. We've been trying to reach you because we need you here this instant, said Hampton. Understood, we're on our way now, said Eileen. We heard everything, let's hurry back to the Gatengo, we can't waste any more time, said Tobias. The team hurry back to the warship and prepare for takeoff as they thank the IWI tribe for their help. As the Gatengo takes for the skies once more, Mothra suddenly appears and screeches before flying off. Is Mothra asking us to follow her? Asked Fluttershy. Probably, said Sileno. You think she knows where the giant bucket of bolts went off to? Asked Rainbow Dash. Only one way to find out, said Tobias. Let's fly. The crew guided the Gatengo to follow after Mothra as it slowly turned in the direction that Mothra flew off in and proceeded to head in that direction. It wasn't long until the Gatengo finally managed to catch up with Mothra. Where is she going? Asked Trixie. I don't know, hopefully she knows where she's going, answered Sileno. They continued to follow Mothra until they noticed a familiar-looking vortex appearing on the horizon. Is that? Asked Tempest. Yep, sure is, said Trapper. Sweet, let's go through and find that stupid robot so we can smash it, said Rainbow. Wait, stop, there's something nearby, said Eileen. Oh God, don't tell me it's another monster, said Bernie. Suddenly the alarms started blaring, catching everyone off guard. What now? Asked Rarity. Incoming. Sunset warned as a flying projectile struck the side of the Gatengo. What the hey was that? Asked Applejack. It came from the side, said Mullet. Hang on, I'm pulling it up on screen. They looked up at the screen as it showed a massive creature standing few feet away. The creature resembled a warped, almost deformed version of Godzilla with a hunched back, a small rectangular head, and two gigantic hands with 3 long fingers. Is that Godzilla? Asked Spike. I highly doubt it. Godzilla actually looks normal, but that thing is hideous, said Rarity. Oh God, said Tobias. It is, isn't it? Asked Eileen. Yep, it's Orga. Tobias groaned as he confirmed Eileen's suspicions. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video make sure to like and leave a comment and share it with a friend. See you all later.